They been on their ass, bitch, I'm on the rail. I wrap it, I bag it, I pack it for sale. Got feeling on speed out, I hit me to chill. I give it a thrill, I put it on film. Niggas facade, get applaud, that ain't real. Come to my section and flex, we can tell. I got a show and she dipping them nails. I'm flipping my L's, I know they can tell. I did it too major, they hit me for favors. Been him since the cable was cut in the cradle. What's up, only right that I do it. Colossal until I'm a boss, so they want me to fail. Look, we prevail. Tell them to point out who said it, they run it. Bitch, I'm on your tail. Know that they talking, they telling them tales. Just know how to tell, that shit for the sale.
Honestly, I know it's hard to believe, but you have to trust me. It's got maximum taste and zero sugar.
Stop playing games, wooden boy.
No, I'm a real boy.
Pepsi Max. Maximum taste, zero sugar. Try and believe.
What do you see here? Maybe history, or maybe it's the future.
Amarti mi consola. Amami ancora, fallo dolcemente, un anno e mezzo, un'ora.
Tonali plug-in hybrid, a new charge of sportiness.
Hello everybody, how we doing? And welcome to the season finale with me, Mr. Flynn, bringing you some more awesome commentary today for Ultimate Masters. And Mr. Mike, my co-commentator, how we doing, buddy? And oh my gosh, season final, team standings very, very on edge and very, very close. How are we feeling for tonight? How excited are you?
Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it is a season finale, and of course, it is something to look forward to. The team championship still up for grabs. CPI Esports versus the X Esports, the only two in the running. And what a track to go racing at is Spa-Francorchamps. It is the Belgian Grand Prix, 7 kilometers, 4.3 miles, 19 corners, 10 to the left, 9 to the right, and my God, there's some iconic corners around this circuit, if I do say so myself.
Yes, there is indeed. I'm very, very excited. Qualifying is now getting under the way. And yeah, so we're back in the lovely actual F1 team cars this time, not the player cars. So hopefully me and Mike trying to find out what teams are racing for what teams. It should be a little bit easier today, but a very close end to the season with CPI and the lovely X Esports. Who are your bets, Mike? Who do you think's gonna probably take the crown for this race today? Who do you think's gonna dominate? Would you say? Who you suggesting?
Well, I mean, judging on the recent form, X Esports have been the team on form, so I mean, counting them to do well here tonight. The issue is with X Esports is that there's such a decent point gap between them and, of course, CPI that essentially is one hand on the title for CPI Esports.
100%. So far there is. But what are the calculations if X Esports wanted to beat CPI? Have they got to get a 1-2, or what's the plan for X Esports today to overcome CPI?
Well, looking at the standings, I believe they have to outscore CPI by 37 points, which isn't impossible. It can be done. So we're going to have to see if they can do that. Of course, point system in Ultimate Masters is, of course, a little bit different. Obviously, 30 points for a race win, 25 points for second place, and a maximum points tally of 57 points per weekend. So it is possible that X Esports can overturn the points gap, but it's going to be an uphill battle for Gaiden and Luca, who are going to be representing the X Esports here tonight.
Yeah, and we'll just find out how quick these drivers are around Spa, and definitely up and through Rouge, my favourite part of the track. So we're going to see a lot of awesome, maybe possible overtaking opportunities. But heading back to the lovely screen, which everyone wants to see, is the qualifying screen of Mr. Volcano in the Atari, the first driver ahead of everybody else. And then we have LNR Kaz in the Alpine, and then following far behind is going to be Jamie, teammates of Volcano, for CPI. Hopefully wanting to do well today, but the track now starting to get busy. Mr. Mike, when Volcano reaches the final couple of turns at this track, do you want to take us on board with us around Spa? Give us a few details of each corner and stuff like that?
Absolutely. Of course, I also got a bit of details about the tyre compound here tonight as well. I mean,
okay.
the C4 soft tyres are going to be used, the C3 medium tyres, and of course the C2 hard tyres, as well as potential intermediate and wet compound tyres. So there's some.
Oh, it's spicy.
Yeah, it's a little bit spicy to say the least. As we have Volcano now coming through the final second now to get his first run underway, and this is going to be interesting to see how much of this track he's going to attack in his opening run. But coming into the bus stop chicane now, all about the exit out of this corner, as it really does get himself underway. So let's take one on a lap around the 7-kilometer circuit. DRS wide open as we begin the lap, running down into turn 1, La Source, bringing around the 100-meter board down into third gear, getting a nice turn in there, a little bit off camber the corner, but navigated quite well by Volcano. Now it's foot to the floor as you head towards Eau Rouge at the bottom of the hill, as you climb up over the peak of Radion onto the Camel Straight. DRS wide open once again, and this is where we'll be seeing plenty of overtakes down in towards turn number 7, Les Combes, as once again breaking just after the 100-meter board, coming through the Les Combes section now, and nicely done by Volcano there. Turn number 10, Brussels, breaking down once again. The elevation change in this corner can definitely cause a few issues, but of course it is a corner where overtakes can happen. As we just go through No Name now, heading down towards turn 12, Pouan. It's going to be 7th gear. Maximum commitment there from Volcano as we head towards the Campbell section, turn 13, and of course into turn 14 as try to avoid the curb 6. It can split you up and chew you out. Through Stavilo now as we look in the middle sector split. It's a 1 minute 12.6, and now foot to the floor all the way to the final braking zone at the bus stop chicane. But of course there is one more corner to go through, and that is of course Blanchimont here, the left-hander, as we run towards the final braking zone at the bus stop chicane. 100-meter board once again breaking down. It's going to be third gear for Volcano, all about the exit here, and easy on the traction. DRS wide open as you cross the line, and it's going to be a 1 minute 40.7 to get us underway here.
That is a mega lap time to start with qualifying, I must say, from the AlphaTauri driver. But Kaz up to the line now, and they're going to be starting a hot lap. Anybody else that's on a quick lap, so a quick flick through if there is, who's going to be ahead? I believe it would be, Jamie going faster than Volcano at 140.6. Now we've got Jackie Boy in the Alpine comes to the line now. What's it going to be for him? A 141.9. So everyone's starting to get their lap times in now, and it's not too bad. The grid ever so close in the 141s, but so far both CPI drivers doing a stellar performance, and both in the 140s where they want to be, ahead of the grid, ahead of the pack. But Guyton on a lap now in sector 3, coming around.
He's on a cool lap.
Oh, is he on a call lap? As he's always backed off here. Never mind, he has backed off of his lap. So we're actually gonna go on board with Guyton for his second attempt if he's not coming into the pit lane, and he is. So he doesn't want to mess around today, does he? X Esports do not want to mess around. So maybe Luca is on the lap, and they are indeed. So on the exit there of turn 1, getting a very good exit there, and good turn in, I would say. And here we go through Rouge. Then are they going to be fully committed? They are definitely fully committed right there. Luca then having that DRS wide open on the exit of turn number 4 all the way down to turn number 5 now. 6 and 7. Some couple of tricky corners where a few drivers can struggle here. If you get in the wrong gear and you place your car on the entrance of turn 7 completely wrong, then you're just gonna absolutely miss the corner and unfortunately go into the gravel trap. But Mike, I am seeing purple sectors in Sector 1 at the moment, almost invalidating their Luca was. That was quite close to track limits, but are they going to be fully committed here? Ooh, it's a slight lift there in Gear 7, so not fully committed like Volcano was there. So potentially not faster in Sector 2, but if they are, then that'd be pretty impressive with how much G-force they take around that corner in real life as well. But it's not a purple Sector 2. So,
Nah,
yeah.
and you can see just attacking the curves a little bit more than what we saw from Volcano, and I guess in Jamie as well. And that has hindered him slightly because you can see a little bit of oversteer moments for Luca, but he will cross the line to complete this lap, so he will get something on the board, and knowing that he can improve.
Let's see what it
This
is.
should be around Mustache's time, I think.
Okay, so 141.1. That's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's all right, but they've got a lot of work to do if they want to try and compete, obviously, for pole position and get a good start for this race. But Rocco in that Red Bull up into P13 now at 144.1. They've definitely had a moment somewhere, and I believe they can go much faster. But now on board with ERT, Colin R. Mason in that Scarlet Ferrari, shall I say, his teammate giving him a bit of a tow in Sector 2, which I don't think was the plan. So hopefully Colin didn't lose a couple of tenths there, but if he did, then
I think it's going to be the other way around.
You think? Really?
I think Colin's going to be the one that gives him the tow down the Camel Straight now.
It could be, you know, but Colin's going to finish his lap time. What's it going to be? It's probably the 141s, and it is a 141.9, and it puts him currently P9. Let's see then. Does he back off to help his teammate out? Let's go with his teammate and see what happens. Is he slowing down? I think Colin, yeah, Colin, never mind. Colin doesn't look like he's slowing down. Or maybe he's preparing
Interesting. I thought we would have seen a bit of ERT teamwork there, because it's not often you get into a position like that where you can really take advantage of your own teamwork and everything.
Yeah, maybe it looks like we were wrong. It doesn't look like, unfortunately, his teammate is going to get a tow. That's what I thought was going to happen, you know. But, you know, it happens. We have to move on. But a few drivers now coming out the pit lane with 9 minutes to go qualifying. You know, want to get a second lap in on the board. Mustache on an out lap. Anybody else on a quick lap? No.
Khalifa ERT.
Oh, lovely. Shall we get on board with them and see what they do? Because I thought they were on a cooldown lap, but never mind. They're on a lap. So, how they getting on, Mike? Have you been on board with them so far?
Yeah, very good first sector. Obviously, middle sector is looking fairly decent as well as we come through the middle sector, and that is on par with Luca's middle sector. So he's looking at around P3, P4 right now.
Okay, it's not too bad. So that's a good. That would be a good, you know, starting for a good banker so far. So let's see then. Can they find a bit of time in the bus stop chicane? On the exit there of 19, up to the line. It's P5. A very good prediction there, I must say, Mike. A 141.3. So a very good lap time there from the Ferrari. But his teammate only P10. So maybe, just maybe, Colin was slightly blocked there on the exit of 14 and 15 by his teammate. I just thought, you know, with how close they were, I think Colin had to actually back off there. So are we seeing teammates going against each other now?
I mean, I wouldn't like to think so, because of course they are still in a battle with LRN in the championship. Of course, the battle for P7 in the standings. Of course, every team right now, if they got a chance to jump up the spot, they are trying to jump up that spot. And
Oh yeah.
it's going to be an interesting one between LRN and ERT there. An interesting freeway battle for fourth in the standings. Obviously, TTL, Team Velocity, and of course NLR Development is also going to be another interesting one, because only 13 points separating those three teams. As I'm coming on board with Gaiten, 1 minute 12.8 in the middle sector, and that is on course to match Volcano.
Oh, I'm a bit scared because he went purple in Sector 1, but not in Sector 2. So, It's all about Sector 3. Has he got more straight line speed than the top two? Let's find out. Bus stop chicane now. Want to brake as late as possible, then hit the apex curbs then. Get a really good exit here on the exit of 19. DRS will open as you cross the start and finish, and it's third. A 140.9. So Guyton, the third driver in the 140s. And how far is he off pole position? It's telling me three tenths off of pole position. But Volcano 19 thousandths off his teammate in P2 from P1. So a very close CPI 1 and 2 at the moment. But Volcano not off by a far amount, but I believe Volcano could find a lot of improvement to get pole position against his teammate. But Guyton has to find a bit of improvement to get ahead of the two CPI drivers, and Luca as well. A lot of improvement to find.
Yeah, and I was just on board with the CPI driver Jamie in that middle sector. He committed to the curves a bit too much, and into turn number 15 at Stavlo, he just overcommitted on the inside curve and just had a bit of a snap. So no improvement there from Jamie there for CPI.
That's a bit unfortunate. Like you said, you don't want to take so much curb on the exit of 15 or 14 really, because it will really unsettle your car and the balance would just be absolutely horrible and disgusting. But I do know that Luca in P5 is on a lap, but I'm just going to quickly flick through to see if anybody is ahead of Luca on a quick lap, and I believe Roma is up by a margin, shall we say. So hopefully they are not going to come to the pit lane, but let's find out. They're not. They're going to commit and they're going to finish this lap. Up to the line they come then. What's it going to be? It's P number 8 of 142.1.5. Not a bad lap time. What about his teammate who's currently sitting in P12 and apparently has the fastest sector 2? Let's see if they can compromise on that and pull themselves forward up the grid a little bit more, maybe ahead of their teammate, but you never know. Let's find out what happens. Brake as late as possible into the bus stop chicane. Exit at 19. What's it going to be? Let's find out. It's going to be P11 at 141.6, and now we're going to go on board with Luca. Oh, traffic.
No, I was Guyton giving him the toe.
Oh,
Down
was it? Oh,
towards the
never
bus
mind then.
stop.
I didn't realise it was Guyton. So up to the line comes Luca. What's it going to be? Oh my goodness, it's pole position by a very close margin. Whew. A 140.6.
So just to give some context with it, in the middle sector, Luca was up by around about 2.5 tenths, which of course would have put him around the 1 minute 40.8. So that toe from Guyton has bought him an extra 2.5 tenths.
Wow, that is shocking. I am very, very impressed with that lap time. You know, like the top three now, 28 thousandths from Jamie and Luca, and then from third to first, it's 47 thousandths. That is phenomenal. That is truly amazing. But now it's all about Guyton. Can he find that extra lap time to pull himself forward up the grid? Would you say? Mike, what are you thinking? Or are they going to do the old switcheroo?
I don't think they can, because Luca doesn't have the fuel. So I think Luca's going to have to come into the pits regardless now. So Guyton might be a little bit hung up to dry here, unless his teammate can get into the pits and back out as quickly as possible. The interesting thing is going to be happening with the CPI drivers, because of course they have exited the pit lane at the same time.
Ooh,
they're both on their out lap, so it could be an interesting one for him.
It could be an interesting one, definitely, for sure. Because it isn't ideal to be behind your teammate, because, you know, it can and it can't, because Jamie can play the team game, and he can back off and build a gap to his teammate, which he's doing now. Or he could just get really close to his teammate and get a lovely toe on the exit of turn 1. But I don't think they're doing that, because they are backing off by a fair amount, which I do agree with. I'm glad they're doing that. But maybe I have a small idea, Mike. So, Luke is in the pit lane, right? With a few more minutes of qualifying to go. If Luke has done enough and he's not going to get enough time to get a lap out, as he's actually leaving the pit lane, I've seen there, the Aston Martin crew moving. What about he's waiting for his teammate to come around the final couple of corners, and he'll go out on the track and give Guyton a tow from a Rouge, or potentially through Sector 3. That is a plan they can do.
I think if it's going to be anywhere, it's going to be Sector 3, same as what we saw with Guyton giving the tow to Luca. I'm currently on board with Colin Mason for ERT, marginally up in the middle sector. Of course, standing P13 right now. And it's not enough to jump up any positions, but an improved lap time is an improved lap time for him. So we'll see how he gets on. He does have a bit of traffic up ahead that needs to get out of the way ASAP, and they do so. So we're going there from the drivers getting out of the way as Colin now to the line. It's going to be a 41.8. So no improvement in position, but no improvement in position.
I was going to say, he improved his lap time by a fair amount, but like we said, not on position. And Luca is leaving the pit lane now, so he's just going to come out slightly ahead of his teammate, but Volcano is on a flyer, and they've invalidated. Volcano's invalidated.
He's right ahead of his teammate, so this is going to be the tow.
Oh, it's going to be a perfect opportunity for Jamie to push a little bit harder now and try and get a lovely tow on the exit of 15, because Volcano is slowing, and this can really, really benefit and help his teammate. As he goes fastest in sector 2, 53 thousandths of a second up. This could be a new pole position lap time. There is Volcano, there is Jamie. Let's see how they get on. Through 16 and 17 now to 18 and 19, the bus stop chicane. Volcano will move to the right. His teammate will try to do some late braking. A bit of a back end loss there from Jamie there, but it shouldn't compromise him by too much as he crosses the line of 140.4. Is Mr. Guyton in that Aston Martin going to be able to overcome that and potentially be on pole? We'll find out in a few moments. This is getting very exciting towards the end of this qualifying session. Mustache is on a flyer right now. How are they going to get on? And I'm getting lost in names now. Guyton has got a lot of work to do to get through some traffic, but might benefit from a tow here, potentially. Mustache across the line, improves on time, but not position. A 140.9, back on board with Guyton. Is he up on his time? Is he up? Is it going to be enough? On the exit of 19 now, up to the line. What's it going to be for the Aston Martin driver? It's only going to be P4 at 140.7. So Luca's been able to split both AlphaTauris after Volcano's invalid lap time, but it's CPI X Esports, CPI X Esports. How crazy is that? As Westall has no front wing and they're chilling in P10. But Mike, how crazy is that for the top 4?
That is obviously what we want to see. Obviously, the two teams in the championship fight, X Esports and CPI, it is checkerboard at the top in qualifying. CPI, X Esports, CPI, X Esports, and both of the lead drivers of their respective teams benefiting from the tow from their teammates. Obviously, Volcano and Guyton weren't able to get the benefit of a tow down in towards the bus stop chicane or through the Camel Straight. So it would have been interesting to see what those two would have done if the roles were reversed, but it's going to be a very interesting race indeed now, moving forward.
It is. It is. Could we see wet conditions, though?
Absolutely.
So if we're going to see wet conditions, we'll come back to that in just a second. I'll quickly go through your qualifying grid. So it's actually going to be, I think, the first or second race where there's been no game bugs with unfair penalties or any issues like that. So it's absolutely amazing to see, and I'm very, very happy with that. So Jamie on pole position by a fair margin against Luca for X Esports. So the gap to 1 and 2 is about a 10th, and then Volcano chilling in P3, about 2 tenths behind Luca and Jamie, but unfortunately had that invalidation. And then Aston Martin P4, P5 Mustache, P6 Kaz, 7th Khalifa, 8th Sam, Mackie 9, 10th for Wessel, and so on. The grid, I believe this is the first or second time this grid is quite far apart, Mike, you know? Not everyone's close on track, which is quite interesting. So maybe drivers benefiting and going for a wet setup, and they're hoping for the rain to come very, very shortly in this race to help them in the second half of their stint. Maybe that could be a plan.
I mean, potentially, obviously, weather conditions around Spa is pretty common. You do get the odd intermediate race, maybe even a full wet race around you from time to time. It is one of those tracks where it is highly likely to get a bit of changeable conditions. In terms of the gaps being a bit spread out compared to what we used to see, and of course, can't remember, this is such a long track. It is 7 kilometers in length. It's such a long track, and some of these corners are so crucial in terms of your approach, your braking, your entry, your turning point, your exit with traction, everything. It is so crucial. So you can always lose a tenth or two here and there compared to your rivals. So it's going to be interesting. But of course, that is qualifying when everyone's on maximum attack. Now it's about the race pace. As we go to those 5 red lights. Lights out, and we are underway here for the season finale at Spa-Francorchamps. And oh my god, in the wall, Das Wessel, and I think Matthias Romer was there with him.
Oh, there's already been contact on lap 1? What on earth has happened there? What on earth?
Matthias Romer and Das Wessel made contact with each other and both went careering off into the pit lane wall. As you can see, Matthias Romer with no front wing and Das Wessel out of this race altogether.
Damn. How unfortunate is that? Out on lap 1. Out of 22 around Spa. Kind of a gutting feeling, couldn't it be?
Well, not just that, he didn't even make it to the braking for turn 1.
No, he didn't.
And we're getting word in the Discord from Das Wessel saying that the steering wheel turned off at the start of the race, so a steering wheel issue for Das Wessel.
Damn. That is interesting, but also very unfortunate, because that's happened to me in a league racing event once around Singapore. Actually, back on the OG game, everyone loved F1 2022, you know. What a fantastic game it was. The grip levels, absolutely amazing. But
it's not about anything on 17 or 19, but come on.
That's very true. But yeah, I was at Singapore, started the race. I didn't even make it to the first turn. I was in the wall because someone just cut across, and yeah, I was just murdered completely. But a safety car on lap 1. So what can we see so far? Of course, Jamie getting the start that he wanted, and ahead into the first corner, and ahead of both X Esports drivers, and Volcano getting a mega start up to P2. So X Esports on the back foot currently, and CPI so far only since like lap 1 onto lap 2 have their one hand on the trophy so far.
Yeah,
but don't count it out just yet.
Yeah, the issue is obviously looking at the tyre comp and the selections. Both CPI drivers going for the set of the mediums, both X Esports going for the set of the hards.
Okay, so they want to use the slow tyre at the beginning of the race, shall we say, and then they want to use mediums for the end for a pace advantage, maybe? That's not a bad strategy, but only 3 drivers on the hards, and then compared to the rest of the grid, everybody on those medium tyres, 3 on the softs. Interesting. It's very interesting. 4 drivers on the hard tyres. Are they gonna try and wring it out potentially and hope for rain later on? Would you say? Is that like a possibility, or is that a risky gamble to take?
That's the thing, isn't it? It's going to be one of those races where it's going to be a question mark. Do we get conditions? Do we not? Because looking at the clouds up above, I mean, we are seeing a bit of blue sky up there, but we're also seeing a bit of clouds up there, and they're not pleasant clouds either. They look a little bit full of rain, shall we say? Those clouds up above.
Yeah, they do look a bit, you know, a bit rubbish. So shall we say, a bit dull, a bit pale, just rubbish in general. So let's hope.
It looks like a Welsh summer right now.
It does. That is true. It does look like a Welsh summer, but I'm hoping, right? I am hoping that there's going to be some rain involved, because that'll make it a bit more spicy and a bit more entertaining towards the end of the race, and especially for this championship battle, as the safety car is going to be running into the pit lane at the end of this lovely lap, on lap number 2 to lap number 3 on safety car restart. Jamie is your race leader so far, and then behind him is going to be Volcano chilling in P2, and then Luca and Guyton for X Esports trying to stop CPI from potentially winning this race and having the advantage and having the upper hand right behind. But restart on safety car. Let's see, when is Jamie going to react? That's the moment we want to know. We want to see. He's still waiting. He's not done yet. He's now coming round 16, 17, and he's now approaching 18 and 19, a bus stop chicane. Do you think Mr. Mike will go on the exit of 19? Saying that, never mind, he has gone, he has reacted, and he has left. And it's not the great restart he would have wanted, because both X Esports drivers almost on the back of those two, but Volcano getting a mega start. And let's see what goes on. Anyone going to make any positions as we make our way down to turn 1? Any late lunges or anything like that? I'm not seeing anything on my screen so far. I know that Kaz was maybe looking up the inside there of Guyton, but wasn't close enough to make a little cheeky lunge.
Mustache in the back of Cancer for P5, and he's using his ERS coming up through. Rouge and Radio now down the Camel Straight. Jog down from Mustache up in the P5.
There we have it. There we have it. Drivers making the move, and it's only lap number 3. We've got Rocco with his teammate in Red Bull up into P13 now, and Luke demoted down to 14th. So drivers are wanting to get the moves done and as quickly as possible. Maybe that could indicate they maybe have a possible chance there could be rain. Maybe rain's been told and they want to get a move on now. But obviously some drivers on the soft tyre, like the Mercedes down in P9, they want to make positions right about now so they can get a good, I would say, overcut or undercut, and just hope their tyres last till the end of this race. But soft tyres, very interesting to see. Moustache now on the rear wing of Guyton for P4 right now. Moustache pushing really hard, draining not much of the battery, but just having a lot of better corner exits at this moment of time. As of course, the medium tyres, the way to be at the moment, as those tyres are still warming up and still getting used to the grippy track. But oh my goodness, he's going to try and make a move here. That was bold, that was brave. So he's done it, and now he's on the back, almost a Luca to gain for P3. Moustache absolutely flying.
Guyton send it back at him.
He was thinking about it, wasn't he? He was thinking, but not able to get it done. And Rocco also making some moves left, right and centre on the Williams, and he's now up into P12. He is flying on those medium compound tyres. We're seeing a lot of drivers push really hard on their first stint. Could that be an issue for tyre temps and potential tyre wear? As we've got Mackie now fighting away with Luke down in P14. But
Mustache on the
here we go. What's it going to be? It's just going to be Luca letting him through. Letting him through to potentially fight with CPI and try and spill the party, but we'll see what happens. But I've realised that they are 1.5 seconds behind the top 2 right now. So CPI trying to pull away on their first stint quite aggressively, and Mackie and Jackie Boy now going after for 15th and 16th. It's all kicking off. It's all going on, Mike. When will it stop?
Yeah. Early on in this race, obviously we're going to see Volcano and Jamie pull away from Luca and Guyton. The fact that they are on the medium compounds versus the hards. Mustache getting through, that could be an issue for the X Esports pairing, because unless Mustache has the pace to kind of drag them along up to the back of the CPI lads, there's not a huge amount of benefit in Mustache being ahead of them, other than just trying to tow them along.
You know what X Esports need right now? They need Moustache to push, which he's doing. But what they want to do is they want to have DRS enabled, but it's not going to be enabled yet because we have the safety car on lap 1. But if Luca can stay within a second of Moustache up ahead, my gamble and the plan that they're thinking to do is DRS is enabled, so on the exit of turn 1 they're going to get the benefit and the doubt of DRS. My bet is Luca has a lot of battery. Guyton has a lot of battery. Is Luca potentially draining, as he is slightly draining some now? Is he going to drain a lot of battery? And is this going to be the slingshot of maneuvers through a route and go, get ahead of Moustache, but then would it be enough to get close enough to Volcano and Jamie? Could that be a potential shout? As he isn't draining, and Moustache is flashing already, which is absolutely crazy to see. But Luca isn't going for the move, and actually we've got a Williams being swallowed on that massive straight from turn 4 all the way down to turn 5, and then Mercedes and Alfa Romeo going at it. The Mercedes trying to move stickers, the Williams are almost losing the rear end, the Red Bull now getting involved, and the Mercedes losing a position. Just 3 wide there, a front wing loss. Mike, that was not ideal. So all the Red Bull there on the exit of turn number 9, smacking the wall there. That could be some damage to his front ring, of course. And that's the Mercedes down to P11, and that was the Red Bull going very, very wide. So maybe the Red Bull potentially has damage, and I believe he does, as he has no front wing, or I think it's the left winglet has gone on the car completely. He is struggling for downforce at the moment and losing positions left, right, and centre off the track there. It's all kicking off, Mike. What a crazy first stint we are having with this race so far.
Yeah, and right now it is going exactly the way CPI wanted to go right now. They got a nice gap to Moustache in behind. They can DRS overtake each other to try and maintain the lead, maintain the gap. Volcano doesn't appear to have the pace of Jamie here, which is surprising because we used to seeing Volcano be the leader of the CPI team in these races.
Yeah, indeed. And let's see what happens. But now Kaz is trying to catch Guyton, but he isn't within DRS range of obviously P5. Khalifa and the Ferrari is also within range as Moustache gets overtaken by Luca. Let's see how that gets on. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
The contact is around Guyton, making contact with his teammate, and he's around.
Oh my goodness! What were they thinking? And that's for a full-blown safety car.
And Guyton has no alternative. He has to come into the pits. He is completely ripped off that front wing. Teammates making contact here, and it has all gone wrong for X Esports.
I don't know what to say. What on earth? What X Esports doing? Both teammates just fighting it out like it's last lap, and they've had contact.
Honestly, they were side by side going into the comms, and one of them had to back out to avoid losing time battling each other to the CPI lads. But of course, they remain side by side, and the difficulty with that corner is, of course, if you are side by side and you do happen to make contact, which is very easy to do when you're side by side from there, it does tend to just auto spin the car on the inside around.
Yeah, I thought Luca would have backed off there, as Guyton's got to take a sharper right in, if you know what I mean. So I thought Luca would have backed off, but both CPI drivers coming into the pit lane then to probably slap on those hard tyres. Luca will remain and stay out, as Moustache is also going to be into the pit lane. I believe CPI, if my correction is correct, they're going to go for a double stack. They'll lose a bit of time here, but they're going onto the hard compound tyres. So, is that going to be the strategy of play, and can they last to the end of this race, as the Haas does jump Volcano in the pit lane, which could be a bit of a problem. But what is a problem, Guyton's had to go into the pit lane, get a front wing change, and get onto those medium tyres really, really early, which he does not want. But that's crazy, Mike. Teammates, out of all the controversy, teammates making contact for a championship battle. That is crazy. If they want to bring this back alive, Guyton has got a lot of work to do to bring himself up this grid order and get himself ahead of CPI. That is a lot of work to ask for. Is it over yet, or is it too early to say?
Well, essentially, they have a pit stop advantage over Luca now. So, unless there's going to be rain at some point in this race, Luca will have to make a pit stop and come out behind both CPI drivers. Guyton is on a set in the mediums, and of course, we know the mediums are the better tyre early on versus the hard tyres. I believe that they're the better tyres till around, I want to say lap 8, lap 9, before they start falling away to the hard tyres. So, Guyton has a bit of time to really try and get himself back into this. The issue for Guyton is, of course, going to be the fact that he has to get through on Chris, who's ahead of him on the setting mediums as well. You've got a fair few cars in between himself and Volcano, the second of the CPI drivers, and Jamie is up there in P5 and essentially has a pit stop advantage over Luca now.
Yeah, that is very true, but that is really guttering for X Esports so far. So just to let you viewers and yourself, Mike, to let you know what's going on with pit stops. Luca yet to make a stop, Khalifa yet to make a stop, Kaz to make a stop, Mika to make a stop, Colin to make a stop. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers that have not boxed yet, and half the grid have boxed for a 1 stop so far. And drivers have done a 2 stop so far, so they've had the advantage of fresher tyres. But looking at tyres, look at that interesting tyre change. So we saw a lot of mediums at the start of this race, and now everybody on the hard compounder tyres very, very early, and some drivers still on the old tyres. They could get swallowed here on lap 1, on the restart. They could get swallowed on the next lap when the safety car comes in, which would be really annoying. But maybe that could cause some contact and bring out another safety car. But we don't want that, of course. But I'm just in shock still, Mike, you know. I was on board with another driver going around another driver. Then I saw Moustache being overtaken by one of the X Esports drivers. And when I came back on board with X Esports, they were both going wheel to wheel down to turn number 5 and 6. And then they made contact, and Guyton was sent into the barrier. I think the team will be having a interesting debrief after the race, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as teammates and that, you don't really want to be battling your teammate for any form of position in terms of a team championship, especially when you're still in with a chance of winning the championship. Battling your teammate is not what you want to do. Obviously, CPI could have battled each other, but they decide to stay in tow with each other, make sure that they don't waste ERS and waste time battling each other. So CPI worked together to make sure they didn't lose time, but Guyton and Luca battling each other through their comms through 7 and obviously on the entry into turn 8. You don't need to go side by side there, but again, DRS activated. Both of them getting a huge toe on Moustache. Both of them getting through on Moustache, and they just ended up side by side in the break-in.
Yeah, like I said, I thought one of them would have backed off, but it didn't look like they were backing off, did they? They looked like they were fully committed, but the safety car is going to be in at the end of this lap. Why don't you, Mike, take us around this lovely track and take us on the restart?
The restart is going to be interesting now. Luca does lead the pack and controls the pace. Khalifa currently in P2 on the second mediums. They are 7 lap old, so they're not the fresh mediums, but with the 2 safety cars that we've had, obviously that's knocked a couple of laps of tyre life off those tyres. So they could go a little bit deeper into this race and potentially still be a very good tyre for the next few laps. But Luca has gone and he has caught Khalifa absolutely napping on the restart.
He has. That's what's interesting to see. So this is going to be a really good start for Luca so far. So let's see what happens. Mike, take us under for the restart.
Yep, Khalifa gets back underway. He has already got an 8-10 sort of gap to Khalifa in second place. Castle over the back of Khalifa for P2 as Jamie gets through on Mika. for P4 as now we have to see if the Alfa Romeo can come back at the Alpha Tauri here as you've got Rouge Madion.
Moustache looking to make a move for P6 on Colin maybe, on the fresher tyres. And he does.
Right then.
Oh, it's still going wheel to wheel though. Oh. I'm scared, you know. Guyton now making up moves around the grid. It's all going on, isn't it, Mike? This is going to be a crazy battle.
You're going to Brussels. Brussels, Guyton looking for another overtaking opportunity down the inside into Brussels. Chris goes a little bit deep, and of course, that was the main person to get ahead of, because obviously Chris on the same set of tyres could have been a bit of an issue for Guyton, but Guyton gets through there, absolute cool, calm, collected. And now through Bruon, he's on the ERS. He's trying to get through on Sam.
He's going for it. He's going for it.
He's on the inside now. Job done. Okay, done. But no, Sam's going to try and hang it all the way around the outside. Turns to the inside from the next corner.
Right,
okay, done. Get the move done.
There's something crucial now. Very, very crucial. Look where he is. And look where Volcano is.
Yeah, Volcano getting through on Colin Guyton. Probably going to try and follow him through into the bus stop chicane as well. On the ERS once again. Will Colin cover the inside line? No, he's not. He's going out. Great Colin. Down the inside he goes.
Oh my goodness.
Guyton makes that move, and he's going to the switch back here. On the
No way.
On Volcano.
No.
It's going to be fantastic if he can pull this off. He does have the grip on the medium tyres as he goes around the outside of the source. Turn 1.
They're still fighting. Didn't get the better traction. It looks like the Alpha Tauri got the better traction on the exit of turn 1. But imagine if he made the mistake, but he's right now. He's right on the gearbox of Volcano.
Jamie getting forward Luca as well for the race lead.
He's going for it. He's thinking about it. Jamie's there. Luca's there. Jamie's had a moment. We're still going to hang it out. Oh! That was so close to contact. That was scary. And here comes Moustache in the mix. He's getting involved. Look. He's still going for it. Jamie's managed to hang it around. Guyton still behind Volcano, which isn't ideal. But this is a spicy restart, shall we say. Luca doing what he can to hold up Jamie there and try and involve Moustache and a few more drivers. But look how close Jamie is to the rear wing there of the Aston Martin. He is close.
Yeah, obviously Jimmy on the fresher tyres definitely has the advantage right now.
He might try
but
here,
look
though.
at this now, right then, Volcano and Cass as Cass gets overtaken by Volcano, and here comes Guyton as well. Around the outside of Blanchimont.
No way.
This will be bold and brave if he can pull this off. Around the outside he goes.
Oh my
Job
goodness.
done for Guyton. And will Cass come
He's
back
ahead.
at Volcano here?
Look at Jamie though. Should we go try and go for the switchback? Aston Martin can't have the grip on those tyres. That was fantastic. Fantastic. Battling between Jamie and Luca and by Volcano as well and Guyton. That was fabulous. And all the other drivers on the track as well doing some fantastic battling. But now can Luca stay within Jamie's second to get the DRS, would you say, Mike? Was it not possible as he's flashing the battery already?
Is absolutely crucial for Luca
he's
to
gonna go
do
for
it.
it again.
He's going to go for the move down the inside into the comms. Job done for Luca. But look, there's a switchback here from Jamie. He's going to hang it around the outside, and this will be fantastic.
So
We pull this off.
contact.
Luca down the inside into Brussels now. As Guyton getting through on Khalifa in the end as well. This is important for XE Sport. There's Luca. Unfortunately, unable to maintain the race lead here as he falls once again back behind Jamie here, and Jamie on those fresh tyres should be able to pull away, but Guyton now up into P4. The only person in between himself and his teammate is Moustache, and he's on the same tyre life as Moustache, but he's on a softer compound, so he should have the grip to get through here. Volcano 1.2 seconds off the back of Guyton.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy what's going on right now, but Moustache now trying to get around Luca, but can't get the move done just yet. Maybe Moustache will try for a late break and move into 18 and 19. Doesn't know which way to go. He's going to go down the inside, and Moustache maybe Maybe the switchback from Guyton though. He can't just get the grip.
And
The
Luca
sound.
does have DRS, so Luca, as it currently stands, still has DRS, but he needs good traction out of this corner here, less source. And he hasn't got it. He's dropped outside that 1 second window. He's going to be absolutely eaten up alive by Moustache and Guyton. He might even potentially get overtaken by Volcano as we go for a Rouge and Radion. Look at the run that Guyton's got. It's going to be free ride again. Hopefully this time it goes better for Guyton than previously as they run down in towards their comms. And now Guyton up into P2. And the only
Within
man
seconds.
ahead of him is Jamie.
Maybe that was Esports' plan to keep Luca out on the track to do some stellar defending, because he is doing a phenomenal job at this moment of time. And they are slowly pulling away from the pack. And oh my goodness, Chris in the Mercedes almost going into the back of, I believe that was Cass for P10. That was a scary moment, but managing to avoid that one. Colin fighting away with the Williams down in 16th and 17th right now. But our main eyes are turned to Volcano, who is trying to get around Luca in a very sketchy position. There is slight contact between the two, but down to the final couple of turns, there's still going to be wheel to wheel. Luca is still there, and Volcano has managed to get around, but he is 1.6 out of a second, so he'll get no DRS, and it'll be like that Luca's attached to him on this straight and might battle a little bit more to hold up the CPI driver. He's going to look for a late breaker move. He is. He's going to look down the inside on Volcano. There's more contact between the two. But Luca, the benefit in doubt, will get DRS and be able to stay with Volcano and potentially go for a late breaker move here, but he doesn't. But with Luca staying within a second, if he gets a good exit, which he doesn't get a great exit, but he'll still be within a second, he'll get the DRS benefit and probably get ahead of Volcano again to hold him up. So we'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens. And here comes Guyton.
On Jamie for the race lead is the mediums versus the hards, and both of them struggling on ERS, but Guyton now into the lead. And oh, Jamie there outbraking Guyton, almost going into the back of him. But now we're going to see how good these medium tyres are versus the hards in this middle sector, as Luca's back through ahead of Volcano once again. So Luca back up in the P4, yet to make a pit stop in this race. And it's going to be intriguing, shall we say, when he does make his pit stop, because he needs to pit early enough that he has enough laps to kind of catch up if there is no rain to come.
Yeah, that is very true, but like we're seeing right now, is Luca just being the backstop, the back foot for Volcano, just holding him up to make a gap for the top three? Could that be a potential, Mike? Is that a possibility?
There's no benefit in this. So,
safety. Hang on. That's a safety
There's
car.
no safety car, and that has just saved
my goodness.
Luca massively. If I'm Guyton, I'm coming into the pits and putting on a fresh set of mediums. Luca coming in and putting on a fresh set of mediums, and Jamie and Volcano, if I'm both of those two as well, I'm coming in and putting on fresh mediums as well.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I said at the restart of the second safety car, Guyton stayed out. Guyton stayed out. What am I seeing? What am I seeing? Maybe they didn't want to risk double stop.
Both CPI drivers are in the pit lane, so they are going to get a fresh set of mediums. Oh, it's softs going on Khalifa's car.
Softs for Khalifa.
Softs from Lucas.
But is Volcano going to be massively held up here? Held up, should I say? He's still waiting. Oh, he's gone.
He uses one spot to Khalifa.
Guyton stays out. What on earth am I seeing?
That, I think, is a strategy blunder from the XE Sports team there, right? Guyton needed to come into the pits, and what we got now is a very intriguing end to this race, because you've got Jamie, fresh mediums, versus Guyton on the 7-lap-old mediums. So you expect Jamie down to grip advantage, and the pace in that should get through. But Luca now on a set of soft tyres should have the overall pace to get through on all these guys ahead of him, but will those tyres be good enough to take him to the end?
Now, you've got to remember, are they a fresh set, or are they quali tyre laps? That's what we want to know.
I would assume they were fresh set, because they only managed to get 3 runs in.
That's true. Oh, I'm scared, Mike. I am very scared. I'm very scared right now. I don't know what to expect. I said, on the second safety car restart, will X Esports be able to bring themselves back into this? And they have. And they have done it so far. But, can they hold on to it? Can they hold on to it, Mike?
Well,
That's the big
I can
question.
confirm, as it currently stands, it is not enough for X Esports to overhaul CPI. So CPI is still in a championship winning position, as it currently stands.
So, let me say it like this. With X Esports right now, what do we need to hope for to win the championship? What would they need to do?
I mean, essentially, they need to make sure that Guyton gets ahead of, stays ahead of Jamie. That's the first and foremost, because if Guyton drops behind Jamie, I don't think Guyton's going to be re-overtaking him. He's on much older tyre compound than Jamie is. Luca needs to get through, and Guyton's into the pits.
What?
He's going to fall away. He's going to fall away to the back of the grid.
What? What?
That's a fresh set of medium, so it's not even the sauce.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, what we are seeing right now is, of course, an interesting end to this race where it looks like the championship is going one way and one way only, and that's towards CPI. Because Luca, while he could go on to win this race, it's not going to be enough to outscore CPI in the championship unless Guyton can absolutely have a masterclass on the back of the field against essentially onto a podium. That's realistically the only hope.
Yeah, indeed. It's going to be interesting to win the race. Can Guyton do enough to get through the pack and challenge everyone else?
Either that, or he's hoping for a CPI mistake where bit of battling leads to damage and they tumble through the order. That is the only way I can see CPI losing the championship now. Or of course, a DNF here, but
Yeah.
I don't know. The CPI drivers have been so intelligent when they go for their overtakes. I don't see them making an issue in terms of being able to overtake and avoid DNFing from this race. So it'd be a case of how hard people battle them, and if they end up getting damage from it. That's the only way I can see CPI falling down the order.
I mean, it is a very interesting one, you know. Like, I'm just in shock. Or did Guyton miss the pit lane by any chance when he came across the start and finish line? Or was he like there?
Nah, he was able to go into the pit lane. He just didn't go into it.
Well, maybe a miscommunication with a race engineer, telling him to not box and then telling him to box, and then it's too late. He's gone past the pit lane. This should be a very interesting outcome towards the end of this race. Guyton with a lot of hefty work to do. Jamie currently chilling in P1 right now. And then we have Moustache in P2. Luca on the soft compounded tyre may attempt to get past these two and just run away. But let's see what happens. If CPI make contact, it could be done and dusted. So they've got to play it smart now. And Jamie on the restart, let's see what he can do. And so far he's going very, very slowly, backing up the grid, waiting for the safety car to be in the pit lane, which it's in. And we're going to wait until he reacts. And it's going to be at the end, I would say, at the bus stop chicane. No, he has gone. And he's gone and dusted. Look at this. Luca already on the back of the Haas on this restart. Is he going to go for the desperate lunge? Someone's in the pit lane. There's Mackie in the Haas car that's in the pit lane. And that will be a gain for Guyton already up into P15. With Guyton, a lot of work to do. Volcano losing. I wouldn't say, no, he's not losing it. Is he losing position? Not too sure. Maybe he's got a jump there. But Khalifa now ahead then of Volcano. Rocco under pressure then from Jackie Boy behind on those medium tyres, and Luca up into P2 and trying to challenge now for CPI in P1. Guyton up into P14 as well, making moves.
Contact made between them. Volcano goes off track.
Oh.
Be careful when rejoining because this is danger, and he drops down to P7 in this race. Rocco picks up a 3-second time penalty, so that could go back in Volcano's favour later on in this race. But there we go. That was the danger that I was alluding to earlier. With CPI, they do have one hand on the championship, but if any incidents like that happen, need the damage for any of their drivers, that is going to be catastrophic for them in terms of taking the championship home.
Indeed, and Guyton almost on the rear wing then of Colin R and P13. Look how close Guyton is, almost actually losing the car then, almost doing another risky bottle move, which he doesn't want to do right now, because if Volcano gets involved in any more issues, he could be getting past Volcano very, very short. But Volcano flying, and now up into P6, but Jackie Boy may fight this one. Down into the bus stop, he's going to look to the left, he's going to try a late break on CPI as Luca has lost the lead, I would say. No, they're actually going to try and go wheel to wheel now, and Luca taking that fastest lap and provisional P1 at the moment. And Jamie could get a loss of position here, but Mustache, he wasn't close enough to get the move done. Now where is Guyton? 8/10 behind at the moment, and he's ahead of the Scarlet Ferrari. Now he's setting eyes and charge for that Williams in P12.
Jackie Boy going to come back on Volcano here as Jamie overtakes Luca for the race lead. Here comes Jackie Boy around the outside. Remember what we saw between the XE Sports teammates early on? A little bit of contact, and one of them went flying around, but this time a little bit of contact and both of them make it through. So Volcano able to avoid catastrophe there. But another 3-second time penalty popping up for not only Jackie Boy but also for Mika as well. Guyton right now will be promoted up 2 spots due to Luca and Mika in P12 on the left, and both having time penalties. We're going to see Cass get through now on his teammate Jackie Boy. So Cass up to the P7 for LRN. Going to try to close up to the back of CPI Volcano. Of course, that gap is 9 times. Conrad Mason with a 3-second time penalty. As Jamie absolutely hounding the back of Luca here. And these soft tyres, well, they are quick for a short period of time. In terms of being a good race tyre, they generally do fall off pretty quick in comparison.
That is true indeed, and now look at Guyton. He might try and look for a move here, which might be a bit risky, but he's going to try and attempt it, and he does. And that's going to be P11 if he can make the move stick, and it is. P11 for Guyton. He's making a charge. He is trying to make a point to Ultimate Masters at the moment, but Jamie is behind Luca at the moment, and Luca could get swallowed here, as Jamie could turn on the battery and defend, but Luca can also attempt to defend, and the gap is now 4/10 behind. Those soft tyres doing the job at the moment, but towards the end of this race it could fade and fade away. Here comes Jamie then. Is he going to try? Luca's going defensive. Oh, Jamie's backing out of that one. He's playing it smart. Where's Guyton? There's Guyton fighting the Red Bull. Luke! Oh! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Volcano's got a time penalty. Could that be? Could that be it? Could that be it, Mike? Could that be the fit? Oh. What are you thinking, Mike? What are you thinking? Talk to me, talk to me.
Right now, I mean, he's got the gap on Chris in 9th, so he has that gap. He's not going to drop below Jackie Boy, because obviously Jackie Boy has a 3-second as well. He's only going to lose 1 spot per half.
Guyton's hounding now. He is hounding. He is attempting to make a charge, and he is trying to make his way through, as Jamie is still behind Luca at this moment of time. Intense times coming towards the end of this championship battle. Oh,
comes right on Chris.
Here comes Jamie. Oh, he's going for it. Guyton, he's trying it. Oh, and Chris losing not 1 but 2 positions in 1 corner.
Rocco and Volcano there side by side for the best of chicane as well. Volcano getting that position up in the P5, he goes. But now, Jamie all over the back of Luca for the race lead. I think there should probably be job done, but let's keep an eye on Mustache coming in P3. He has a big opportunity to get a double overtake here.
He's going to try it, he's going to attempt it. Jamie's turned on the battery, Luca's turned on the battery. They're both going defensive. Which way Is the outside door going to go down to turn number 5? We go now. DRS activated for Jamie. Late braking. Look at go. Oh, Aston Martin's round. That could be a safety car. And it's not.
Wow, wow, wow.
That might be a
We saw
short
it.
report right there.
We saw it at the beginning of the race with both XE Sports drivers making contact in that corner. And we see it again, lap 19 between CPI and XE Sports. And that could be a controversial one.
It could indeed. Could that be a hefty penalty coming Jamie's way? Or was the lunge there from Luca not needed? Would you say, Mike?
Well, I think Luca was close enough to warrant attempting the move. And it's just one of those corners where if you're gonna go side by side, you have to be so confident in the driver you're alongside with, because a slight little bit of contact and one of you's around. That's just the unfortunate thing about that corner.
Yeah, that is very true indeed. So maybe, just maybe, the lovely Stewarts of Ultimate Masters could be very, very busy tonight with penalties ranking in left, right and centre. But we shall see what happens. And let's take a look to the race lead now, as Moustache is very close, or I say close, to the rear wing of Jamie. He might go for a move here. He doesn't. Jackie Boy now getting past his teammate up into P number 6 now. But let's see what happens now. Nothing much between the two Alpines. They just swap positions and are trying to help each other out here. But they do have time penalties, which will drop them down the grid a bit. But that is quite unfortunate there. X Esports were then on a charge to try and take one hand to the trophy and take it away.
Oh, and Luca picks up
and Luca.
second.
If it couldn't get any worse for X Esports today, it's gotten worse now.
Yeah.
I can feel their pain. That is, yeah. That is quite like, it's like you've almost been stabbed in the heart.
It's championship over for XE Sports, and it is the most horrible way for it to happen. Contact between teammates, taking one of the drivers out of the race effectively, and then contact between your rival as well, kind of putting the nail in the coffin. The only hope now for XE Sports, and it is a very, very loose hope for XE Sports now, is if the likes of Jamie and Volcano get caught in the instant here with Moustache. That's the only way.
Yeah. We'll just see what happens, and hopefully the right time will, fingers crossed, will pounce. But Moustache, look how close he is to Jamie, and look how close Volcano is to his teammate. But also Moustache, they both got the battery on, and Volcano backing off there, not going for any risking it at all. But Rocco now up into P number 4, ahead of Khalifa, who's in the Ferrari in P5. And Guyton, he's now getting involved in trying to put on a stellar performance, a stellar show for the Aston Martin crew and XE Sports. But yeah, championship out the window now for XE Sports. They must feel gutted, absolutely gutted so far. Lap 21 to lap 22 very, very shortly, and CPI on course to take the win and constructor winners for the team for CPI, but it will only be provisional results. So, you know, there could be a change if Jamie was to get a penalty. Would it be enough? We're not too sure, we're not too certain. So just to see what happens. But nevertheless, Jamie on the rear wing now of Moustache, fighting for P1.
If I'm Moustache losing the back end and the brake end. If I'm Moustache, I'm kind of letting Jamie through on this straight right here.
I would do the same. I would do the exact same. Oh, he's into the back one there. almost in the back of the pass car, which is quite scary. But also, risky moves are needed at desperate manners and desperate measures and desperate time, shall we say.
Absolutely,
Jamie.
that's right. Nothing Moustache can do about it. He is going to stay ahead of Volcano, though, which is good for Moustache, but he has one opportunity, and that's going to be the run going down into the bus stop chicane. He needs to stay close to the back of Jamie to have that opportunity. But the thing is with Jamie, he does have more ERS to play with.
That is true. So let's see what happens, and wait for the last couple of turns. You know, we've still got a massive straight where Moustache could drain the battery, but Jamie's got a lot more than Moustache, and maybe Moustache is done and dusted, and that is his win for the fight over and done.
Also, I just want to bring this up as well. I mean, if Volcano and let's call this Stuckman, Moustache and Jamie battling, he could potentially lose a podium here because Khalifa doesn't have a penalty. He needs 3.4 seconds again.
I was realising that he is quite a bit behind, isn't he?
Yeah, but I think Jamie's a bit too far ahead. So, from the looks of it, it is going to go the way of CPI in the championship. And honestly, over the course of the season, they have probably been the best team on the grid. So, it is a thoroughly deserved championship in the end.
Yes. Absolutely crazy. A fantastic season to be a part of with Ultimate Masters. So, yeah, congratulations to CPI for one, getting a P1 and a P3 finish, but also winning the team standings. So congratulations to them. Like you said, throughout the whole season, they have been the team to watch. They've been absolutely fantastic. So what can I say then? Well done, CPI. And you deserve it, really, because of their performance this season. And I'm very excited for Season 3. What about yourself, Mike? Are you excited?
Yeah, absolutely. And, of course, it's going to be interesting to see what happens next season. Because, of course, as we mentioned in the previous stream, 2 tiers.
Yes, 2 tiers indeed. And also, you've got Division 1, which is obviously no assist here. And you've got Division 2, which is, I believe, with a few assists. So my guess is just what racing line, and that's it. But Mike, I've got some news. I've got some news to share with you. We, if I'm correct, we are going to be the 2 commentators to be doing the lovely Division 1. So, how do you feel about that? How do you feel?
I mean, it is an absolute fantastic position to do commentary over Tier 1 next season. So it'll be exciting to be back, and of course to be back alongside you in the commentary box.
Yes, same here as well. I think we've had great banter. We've made some very interesting, I'd say, cringe jokes. But, you know, it's a season. We try to have a laugh and a bit of entertainment as well whilst we're racing and watching the racing action and watching intense qualifying. But no, there it is. That is the classification and provisional results for now, which is Jamie on top, Moustache in P2 and Volcano in P3. That is your top 3 podiums. A few drivers with a few time penalties. But no, that is, like I said, season done and dusted, Mike. What is your overall rating and best race of the season, would you say?
It was a solid, I'd say a solid 8.5 out of 10 for the entire season. In terms of my favourite race, I can't really think off the top of my head. I ain't gonna lie, I have a memory like an absolute spanner sometimes. So, trying to remember Pacific races is always an intriguing one. But I think I'm thinking Singapore just because of the conditions at the end, but then we had the same thing at France, just the reverse order. So I'm thinking France.
Thinking France, you know what? I would agree with you as well. France was a lovely race to watch, especially when heavy rain got involved, interrain got involved, and then dries got involved. That was absolutely crazy, and that was a race to forget. because my voice was absolutely dying. But as a race to forget, was my voice dying, but not to forget because of awesome racing action we had at France. So, Mike, is there any final few words you would love to say before we round it up and say our goodbyes and then return in a week or two or 3 or 4 for season 3?
Well, I think obviously massive congratulations to CPA on the victory and obviously the championship. Commiserations to XE Sports, of course. It was just one step too far in the end. And of course, Relentless for provisionally as it stands, securing P3 in the standings. Of course, we look forward to season 3, and of course, as mentioned by Flynn moments ago, we'll both be back for season 3, and we wait eagerly for it to begin. But of course, if you have been enjoying all of the action on the Velocity Ultimate Masters Team Racing League, make sure you tune in by hitting the follow button or wherever it is to join in with all the streams, keep up to date with all the content. Make sure to check out the Twitter as well on X to keep up to date with all the information as well.
Yes, and as well, if you have any racing teams that you might know or you might want to mention or you might want to get involved with this awesome and amazing racing community, then Twitter's down below to keep up to date with the socials. Facebook's down there. You've got a little website of Velocity Esports Racing if you want to know more information about it. But then, the best of it all, you have the Velocity's Ultimate Masters Discord server down below if you want to sign your team up for Tier 1 or Tier 2. But no, you guys have been absolutely awesome this season. Thank you for watching. Thank you to all the crazy comments you've been saying of strategies, predictions on wins, and just providing awesome racing action. So let's settle this then, Mike. From me, Mr. Flynn, I'm running away. And from yourself, Mike?
I have one more question for season 3.
Go on then. Far away.
Can we have Australia on it? Because it wasn't enough for Wales to beat Australia 46 in the Rugby World Cup. I want to go there again, just so I can say it again.
You know what? I could possibly have a chat with Mr. VJ and say, can we have Australia, please? Because I tell you what, that would be a track to show not skill, but wheel-to-wheel action and trust in drivers not making contact. So I agree with that. Yeah. We need to make a partition.
Absolutely. But so, of course, it was mainly for the rugby banter.
Yes, indeed. But like we said, we'll see you guys for season 3. Me, Mr. Flynn, signing off. And yourself, Mike?
Yeah, we'll catch you for season 3, guys. Hopefully you have a fantastic evening and it's good night from me.
Yes, guys. See you for season 3. Good night. Peace. Have a good one. Ka-chow.
They been on their ass, bitch, I'm on the rail. I wrap it, I bag it, I pack it for sale. Got feeling on speed out, I hit me to chill. I give it a thrill, I put it on film. Niggas facade, get applaud, that ain't real. Come to my section and flex, we can tell. I got a show where she dipping them nails. I'm flipping my L's, I know they could tell. I did it too major, they hit me for favors. Been him since the cable was cut in the cradle. What's up, only right that I do it. Colossal until I'm a boss, so they want me to fail. Look, we prevail. Telling the point out who said that they run it, bitch, I'm on your tail. Know that they talking, they telling them tales. Just know how to tell, that shit for the sale. Yeah.
Honestly, I know it's hard to believe, but you have to trust me. It's got maximum taste and 0 sugar.
Stop playing games, wooden boy.
No, I'm a real boy.
Pepsi Max. Maximum taste, 0 sugar. Try and believe.
What do you see here? Maybe history, or maybe it's the future.
Amarti mi consola. Amami ancora. Fallo dolcemente. Un anno e mezzo, un'ora.
Tonali plug-in hybrid, a new charge of sportiness.